Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to teach you the standard normal curve, students. Standard normal curve. So a lot of y'all had sent me mails and DMs where I have to explain about standard normal curve. So it is very simple. Imagine if a curve is said to be bell shaped and symmetrical. It is your standard normal curve. So if your curve is bell shaped and if it is symmetrical, it is the standard normal curve. Here remember these points. The mean is equal to 0 here. In the standard normal curve with bell shaped and symmetrical curve, the mean is equal to 0. The area under the curve, the variance and the standard deviation, all this equal to be 1. So area under the curve, variance and standard deviation will be equal to 1. Mean is 0. So the question here that might appear is, in a standard normal curve which is having bell shaped and symmetrical curve, which of the following is true? They'll give mean is equal to 0. Is it true? Yes. They might give area under curve is equal to 1. Is it true? Yes. They might give standard deviation equal to 1. Is it true? Yes. They might give variance is equal to 1. Is it true? Yes. So all of the statement is true. Just remember, mean is 0, area under the curve, standard deviation, variance equal to 1. This was about the standard normal curve. Now if I'm going to talk about only a normal curve, what about the normal curve, students? Normal curve, any guesses? Normal curves. See, a normal curve according to me is going to be like this. It is not going to be your bell shaped curve. It is not going to be anything fancy. It is just going to be a normal curve. Alright, it is going to be a normal curve. Now imagine I divide it like this. Okay, and then I divide it based on my standard deviation. 1 standard deviation, 2 standard deviation and 3 standard deviation. So I'll divide it as a plus 1 standard deviation, minus 1 standard deviation, plus 2 standard deviation, minus 2 standard deviation, 3 standard deviation, minus 3 standard deviation. Alright, now just you have to remember this much is 68.3%. So if I'm talking mean, plus or minus 1 standard deviation equal to 68.3%. The 2 standard deviation is going to be 95.4%. So if I'm talking mean plus or minus 2 standard deviation, it's going to be 95.4%. Alright, if I'm going to talk about the 3 standard deviation, it is going to be 99.7%. So if I'm going to talk about mean plus or minus 3 standard deviation, it is going to be 99.7%. Okay, now suppose see, 2 standard deviation is 95.4%. If I want only 95%, that means it should be less than 2.2 standard deviation, right? So answer exactly is 1.96. So 1.96 standard deviation is exact 95%. If it is exact 99%, it is 2.58 standard deviation. 2.58 standard deviation. Exactly 95%, 1.96 standard deviation. Exactly 99%, 2.5 standard deviation. My students ask, ma'am, do we have to remember these value? This value you have to remember. Exact 95%, 1.96 standard deviation. Exact 99%, 2.5 standard deviation. Rest, if you know this much is enough. This is going to be 50%. This is going to be 50%. So that is all. If you have any doubts regarding this, you can comment below. I will give you a question for an easy understanding. Now I will give you a question with following options. One option is 25%, another option is 50%, another option is 68%, another option is option D, that is 95%. The question is normal distribution curve, and they are asking the normal distribution curve, what percentage of data will fall within one standard deviation from mean. So within one standard deviation from mean, see, is it 25%, 50%, 68%, 95%? So within one standard deviation means, what is one standard deviation value, students? It is 68.3. So if I am talking within one standard deviation, the answer should be below 68, that is 68.3, that is 68. Any doubts in this? Yeah, that's all, students. If you have any doubts, please do mention in the comments below. I'll try answering them.